the root causes of foundation and concrete problems and work closely with those we serve to develop permanent solutions. If you have concerns with your foundation or concrete, call us for a free estimate today, because these issues won't get better with time. They only get better with SureDry.
Did you know Masterforce has thousands of tools at Menards? Any tool you want, we have. There are hammers, drills, pliers, levels, wrenches, grinders, sanders, compressors, nailers, workbenches, blowers, chainsaws, floor jacks, knee pads, work lights, fans. And that's just a taste. Come check out the wide range of products from Masterforce, exclusively at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Taco John's Family Pack in a Pound is not just for families. It's also the Chillin' with the Crew Pack in a Pound. For just $19, this deal's tough to beat, no matter who you call family.
The Family Pack in a Pound, only at Taco John's.
Straight ahead, Wisconsin proves once again why it's the purplest of purple states. We'll show you the split decision from voters.
Kremlin is abandoning territory.
And we'll have all of the election results, including mixed success for school referendums. We'll have the details as your local news starts right now. Good evening and welcome to Newswatch 12 at 5. I'm Dan Hagan.
And I'm Jessica Jugage. A split decision for Wisconsin on election night. The governor's race was called for Democrat Tony Evers just after midnight.
While the race for senator was called this morning for Republican Ron Johnson. Johnson holds a 27,000 vote lead over Mandela Barnes. The official call was made at around 10:45 this morning. Johnson hasn't held a press conference since that call, but addressed supporters early this morning when it seemed apparent he'd win another term in the Senate.
I just want to give you guys the sense that this race is over.
Morning, Mandela Barnes conceded the loss, saying he fought the good fight, but their work isn't over.
Now, unfortunately, we didn't get over the finish line this time. But I know that this movement has meant so much to all of us. Where just because we didn't get across the finish line, that does not mean it's over.
The only question now is whether Senator Johnson will serve in the minority or the majority. That could come down to a runoff election in Georgia. And while Johnson hung on by a percentage point, Governor Evers won in Wisconsin by a landslide. Not really, though.
Meaning a close race by most standards. The Democrat was able to win last night by nearly 90,000 votes. It was still a close race, but not quite as close as some polls believed it would be, with Evers having a near 3.5% advantage over Tim Michels. Michels gave his concession speech around 1 a.m. this morning, saying he didn't see a chance for victory.
Stand by.
Meanwhile, Governor Tony Evers addressed supporters at the Orpheum Theater in Madison. He said that his victory shows Wisconsinites support gay and trans rights, action on climate change, and fixing roads.
Unfortunately, the math doesn't add up. I just called Governor Evers and conceded. I wish the Evers family well.
We'll have all the noteworthy down-ballot races later in our broadcast.
Let's turn our attention to weather now. Meteorologist Conrad Sapinski is with us. Conrad, it feels like winter out there.
Yeah, I mean, right now it's feeling warm, but it will feel like winter very, very shortly, folks. So looking outside right now, temperatures are looking warm in the 50s, a couple of 60s showing up there as well. So pretty much on the warmer end, a lot warmer than what we're supposed to be at this time of year. All those yellow and orange colors moving up from the south, those are those warmer temperatures coming in ahead of this cold front right over here, just west of Minneapolis. And behind it, winter conditions are happening. 20s and 30s as temperatures right now. Our average should be around 43 23 degrees with an average low around 25. So today, another balmy day, really amazing. 59 once again as a high, 60s just to the south of us. Merrill, same thing by Wausau, Stevens Point in those mid 60s, and temperatures will actually continue to rise overnight as that cold front starts to move in slowly and slowly. Mostly cloudy skies outside right now. Did have a couple of showers earlier today. Most of that rain is just to the west of Rhinelander. This is all scattered and light at the moment, but tomorrow, whole different story. That rain's actually going to start to pick up as dew points start to rise. The air gets more and more saturated, and that means more chances of some thunderstorms by tomorrow. Tonight, though, a whole 180. Instead of temperatures cooling off, we'll start to warm up into those upper 50s to lower 60s. Dan?
The red wave did not come for House Republicans. We are still waiting on results for some races that will determine party control of that chamber, but the GOP were able to pick up a seat in Wisconsin. Ex-Navy SEAL and January 6th protester Derek Van Orden has flipped the state's 3rd district red for the first time in 26 years. A Republican victory was widely predicted by national forecasters, but the margin as votes came in was smaller than most expected. National Democratic Party groups had spent little on the race, while the Republican Congressional Campaign Committee supported Van Orden with TV ads and campaign donations. His win gives Republicans a 6-2 majority in the state's congressional delegation.
Last night was a mixed night for school operational referendums in north central Wisconsin. Rhinelander and Three Lakes passed theirs, but residents in Athens, Stratford, and Merrill voted theirs down. For Merrill area public schools, it's the 2nd straight time the operational referendum was voted down this year, although this time was by a narrower margin. City residents generally voted to pass it, while outlying townships generally voted against it. Superintendent Shannon Murray told WJFW the district now faces substantial cuts, adding that his goal will be to make sure those cuts make the least possible impact to students. Any changes would go into effect next school year. Murray did not rule out a 3rd attempt at a referendum in April.
With Tim Michaels losing, Republicans still had a chance last night to take away the veto pen from Tony Evers. While they were able to get a supermajority in the state Senate, they fell a few seats short in the Assembly. Republicans flipped Senate District 25 in the northwest corner of the state, with Republican Romaine Quinn winning the seat Minority Leader Janet Bewley had held for years. Bewley did not seek re-election. In the Assembly, Republicans flipped 3 seats, 2 in northwest Wisconsin and 1 Waukesha County seat that was redrawn to be a red district. They needed 5 seats for a supermajority, though, meaning Evers' veto pen will be intact for at least the next 2 years. And as I mentioned, Senator Janet Bewley is stepping down. This means her Senate leadership position is now open. Senator Melissa Agard of Dane County announced her intention to run for Senate Minority Leader. Agard has served in the legislature since 2012.
Republicans swept rural Dunn County, but voters passed an interesting ballot referendum. Voters in Dunn County unanimously approved a universal health care referendum. Like referendum questions about abortion rights or marijuana legalization, it won't have the force of law. But advocates say allowing voters to weigh in on the question is part of an effort to demonstrate the broad-based appeal of universal health care. The passing of this referendum in a rural, conservative-leaning Wisconsin county comes as a bit of surprise to both Democrats and Republicans.
To international news, Russia is withdrawing forces from Kherson in Ukraine, a major setback for the invading country. The Russian withdrawal represents the most significant military moment in the war since Ukrainian forces swept through the northern Kharkiv region in September. Defending occupied territory on the west bank of Kherson has become increasingly difficult for the Russians as Ukrainian forces disabled bridges and attacked Russian supply lines. Kherson was one of 4 Ukrainian regions illegally annexed by Russia in September. Once the withdrawal is complete, several thousand square miles of that annexed territory will have been surrendered. Coming up, there is plenty of local news to get to,
including a ribbon cutting for a store that provides job training for kids with special needs. That's after Weather with Conrad right here on Newswatch 12.
Newswatch 12's Dan Hagan, Jessica Jukic, and meteorologist Jeff Weller bring you the news from where you live and weather of the North Woods. Watch Dan, Jessica, and Jeff weeknights on WJFW NBC 12.
Come to Carpet City Flooring Center's biggest sale and get the best for free. Through Saturday, get free installation on our best-selling carpet, free estimates, and interest-free financing. That's right. Free carpet installation, free estimates, and interest-free financing. Only at Carpet City Flooring Center. Come see why contractors and designers choose Carpet City Flooring Center for their flooring needs. And get the best for free.
Carpet City, our prices will floor you.
Goodwill starts with you this holiday season. As you get ready to open your door to family and friends, shop Goodwill for great deals on festive decor, one-of-a-kind outfits, and do-it-yourself gift supplies. Perfect for any holiday gathering. You'll also be opening the door to job training and opportunities for neighbors in our community. Your purchases and donations save items from the landfill and keep the holiday spirit alive all year round. Goodwill starts with you.
My son. Is this the guy who shanked the other guy?
You can't be the doctor on this patient.
I'll get in there. No, stop!
The chief's son is sex trafficking underage girls.
We got no evidence.
Then there's got to be something else.
Haley.
Glider wrecked my back. That's why we're going to Tomahawk Furniture and Gun. Mattress season? That would help my back. With mattresses as low as $139. Come on in, because everyone sleeps at Tomahawk Furniture and Gun.
It's Wednesday, the day after the big voting day, but temperatures are warming up. All this red colors and orange and yellows moving up from the south. Those are those warm temperatures, and the blue indicating the cold weather. You see what I did there? But yes, those blue temperatures, those are cold temperatures from Canada that will be rolling in very, very shortly. Right now, though, doesn't feel like it. Temperatures in the 50s, some 60s, even a couple of mid-60s just to the south of us. It's feeling more like a rewind of a month ago, but right now it is going to continue to warm up. Temperatures around 15 to 20 degrees warmer than this time yesterday. It was pretty chilly outside, especially with that wind yesterday. Today, different story, but a big change is on the way. If you like roller coasters, hop on and buckle in. 62 as a high tomorrow, and look what happens by Friday. A whole 180, 34 degrees as a high temperature. Yes, that is correct. Close to 35, almost 40 degrees colder, around 32 degrees colder. So really big difference in temperatures. But that temperature trend is going to continue through the weekend, and same thing into next week. So these cold temperatures are here, and they're here to stick around. So bring out those jackets and pretty much prepare for these winter conditions on the way. Right now, we do have some cloudy skies, a couple of sprinkles earlier today. Most of the lighter showers are just to the west of us, mostly north and west of Rhinelander, but that's going to continue to develop as all the low pressure system continues to move up north. Right now, it doesn't look like much, a couple of scattered showers in our area, and then some snow showers in the west. All that's going to continue to develop and push up north really by tomorrow morning into the day on Thursday. But these are going to be non-severe storms. So tonight, don't expect anything to get really out of hand. Tomorrow, though, is going to be a bit different story. We're going to have some of these stronger storms moving in. Some stronger damaging winds might be possible, and even some small hail. So we'll keep an eye on all of those storms all day tomorrow. But like I said, that rain really starts to pick up in intensity overnight tonight and then really throughout the day tomorrow. But look what happens on the back end. You see this? That is some snow showers, some lake effect snow that will be turned on. That lake effect snow machine will be in full effect, especially in the UP, where a lot of that cold air will continue to push down south, and all of us will get some flurries, a lot more heavier snow just up in the UP. So we're thinking anywhere around maybe an inch of snow here in Rhinelander, and of course, a lot more in the UP, maybe 2, 3, couple localized 4-inch snowfall totals the next couple of days. Tonight, though, it will be mild. Temperatures in those mid-50s, a couple of showers and lighter thunderstorms. And our 7-day outlook, brought to you by Northwoods Furniture and Mattress, does show those colder temperatures sticking around starting Friday. Dan and Jessica?
Thanks, Conrad. Lakeland Nordic Ski Team has a long tradition of success in state competitions. Another tradition is its annual Ski Swap, which will be happening this weekend. The Ski Swap is an opportunity to clean out unused winter recreational gear and get paid for those items. Plus, it serves as a fundraiser for the Lakeland Nordic Ski Team, helping athletes with expenses such as uniforms, transportation, and rising operational costs. The event will have gear for all winter sports, including snowboarding, hockey, and ice fishing. The 34th annual Ski Swap will be this Saturday from 10 to 1:30 at Lakeland Union High School. Anyone interested in dropping off gear to donate or sell, stop by the school from 6 to 9 p.m. on Friday or Saturday, 7:30 to 9:30 a.m. For more information, go to the event's Facebook page or to the team's website.
Anyone interested in taking college or trade classes is invited to attend an enrollment pop-up event at Nicolet College. Individuals will be able to meet with an admissions representative to discuss career options and the various academic paths available. Prospective students can also speak to an academic advisor to register for classes and set up a class schedule. Information will also be available on how to receive financial aid and scholarships and more information about payment plans the college has available. The event will run from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. in the Red Oak Center on November 16th. The Rhinelander High School Business Club held its annual canned food drive in October. Today, the Rhinelander Area Food Pantry announced it received 682 pounds of food from the event. The FBLA DECA Trick or Can Food Drive ran from October 17th to the 26th. The drive is part of a statewide effort from high school businesses.
In August of this year, the Wings store in Monaco was engulfed by a fire.
But after a lot of perseverance, the store is now back and freshly rebranded in a new location. Newswatch 12's Kyle Pozorski joins us to share the story. Kyle?
Well, good evening, guys. If you're familiar with the Lakeland Union High School, then you probably have heard about the WINGS program, where students with disabilities learn skills relevant to finding employment options within the community once they graduate. Today, a ribbon-cutting ceremony was held to celebrate the new store location.
It just goes to show for our school district, you never count us out.
In August, the Wings store in Monaco was destroyed by a fire, but after a lot of perseverance, the store is now back.
When we had our tragedy with their previous store burning down, our community rallied behind our students.
Lakeland Union High School operates the store with the goal to teach students the skills needed to live independently once they leave the school. District Superintendent Bob Smoody believes it is a great resource for the entire Lakeland community.
And this provides something that we can both be proud of and provides a wonderful service for training for our students.
I love the Kids Closet. Jake Hansen is one of the students who works at the newly rebranded Kids Closet. He donned a pizza costume to attract those who showed up to Wednesday's ribbon cutting.
It helps me be very social and socially appropriate and very active.
It is a fun atmosphere. Everybody's smiling, even on a dreary day in November. Everybody's having a good time and really just happy to be here.
The store accepts donations of clothing, toys, video games, and sporting equipment, and are open Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Dan and Jessica?
I'm glad they're back. Thank you, Kyle. Coming up after the break, we'll run through some election results.
We'll show you the strong trend for incumbents holding seats, with one exception. We'll be right back.
Northwoods Furniture and Mattresses Countdown to Black Friday sales event is going on now. Instead of one sale day, we have incredible store-wide savings all month long. Save on home furnishings from the leaders in quality furniture, Lazy Boy, Flex Steel, and more. Black Friday savings on name brand mattresses from Sealy, Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster, and more. Overstocks and clearance items are priced to go. Shop early for the best selection. Northwoods Furniture and Mattress with 2 locations in Eagle River celebrating 15 years in business.
The best way to start your day is with a cup of coffee from Eagle River Roasters. Newswatch 12 Today wants to get that coffee to you through the Mugshot Monday contest. Enter online and watch Monday mornings to see if you're the lucky winner.
When searching for your next truck,
You want your truck to last. Get the job done right with a Lenz truck. We have them all. Half-ton trucks, Power Strokes, Cummins, Duramax, SUVs, over 800 to choose from. Know that all Lenz trucks are fully inspected, certified clean, and can be bought hassle-free online. Go now to lenztruck.com.
Lenz Truck. Lenz Truck. We got the trucks at Lenz Truck.
We got the trucks.
It was easily the best decision we've ever made in this house.
Why are these homeowners smiling? Because they saved money on their new replacement windows. Now it's your turn. During Renewal by Anderson's Black Friday event, get incredible savings and extended financing. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Sue right, Jake middle, me on the left.
Yeah, I knew I'd win.
Are you saying
What's
something?
really happening over there?
I think you're on mute.
There's no substitute for real gaming fun. Go where fun lives. Old Chum Gaming Wittenberg.
This portion of News Watch 12 is brought to you by Slumberland.
A night for incumbents in Wisconsin. Let's start with the biggest statewide race margin of the night. Governor Tony Evers has won a second term. He took in 1,355,000 votes. That was about 90,000 more votes than Republican challenger Tim Michels. To the Senate race, Republican and incumbent Ron Johnson has hung on to his seat with a 27,000 vote margin over Mandela Barnes. And in the Attorney General's race, another incumbent victory. Josh Kaul won with a 35,000 vote margin. Now to the closest statewide race. It appears Doug LaFollette will hold on to the position he's had for the last 40 years. He has just 7,000 more votes than Republican A.B. Loudenbeck. Interestingly, the Libertarian and Green Party candidates took in 95,000 votes combined, which could have had an impact on the final results. This race has not yet been officially called. So it looks like Democrats have swept the statewide offices, right? Well, until you remember, there's one more seat that sometimes gets forgotten. The state treasurer position has flipped to Republicans. John Leiber has won by 40,000 votes, the second biggest margin statewide. And this race is clearly the outlier, perhaps because it's the only one without an incumbent running. Now to some House races. Tom Tiffany coasted to re-election in his northern Wisconsin district with around 62% of the vote. In the 3rd District, Derek Van Orden flipped this longtime Democratic seat narrowly, beating Brad Pfaff by 20,000 votes. Now to some Assembly races. Rob Swearingen wins his 6th term as Assemblyman for this Northwoods-based district. He defeated Democrat Eileen Daniel by 8,000 votes. Republican Calvin Callahan of Tomahawk has won his 2nd term, more than doubling up on his challenger. Republican Jeff Broussard of Crivets has won his 10th term in the Assembly, winning this Forest, Florence, and Marinette County handily. Here's a race Republicans needed to win for a supermajority, but fell short. Democrat Katrina Shanklin has won her 6th term in this Stevens Point-based district, winning by a larger margin than in 2020. Here's a seat Republicans were able to pick up. Chance Green has won his 1st term for this Price, Ashland, and Bayfield County district by less than 2,000 votes. Now down to Wausau, Pat Snyder has won his 4th term in the Assembly by a 3,000 vote margin. And now some state Senate races. Romaine Quinn has flipped this Northwest Wisconsin district red, winning by 12,000 votes. And this Marathon, Taylor, and Rusk County seat has been won by Corey Tomczyk. He will replace longtime legislator Jerry Petrusky, who did not seek re-election. Now, if you were paying attention there, you'll notice not a single incumbent has lost. There is one exception, however, the Forest County Sheriff. Jeff Marvin will be the new sheriff, defeating Ron Skollerud. Skollerud notably was appointed by Governor Evers and was not an incumbent from a previous election. And finally, here Ken Schneider holds his position as Lincoln County Sheriff. We'll be right back with one final look at your weather.
Times of transition, whether from a sad event or a joyful one, can leave us feeling adrift. Social connections are an important part of a healthy life. Being isolated and lonely can be harmful to your health. It can lead to high blood pressure, a greater risk of heart disease, and early onset dementia. So it's important to build and maintain connections to people, not just in your family, but others whose relationships bring meaning to your life. Trying a new hobby, volunteering, exercising, even using your phone or other device to stay in touch with others. All these can be great ways to keep up your social connections and your physical and mental well-being. Visit connecttoeffect.org to see if you're at risk of social isolation and find ways to get connected. This message is brought to you by United Healthcare and AARP Foundation.
Black Friday deals all month long during our huge Thanksgiving sale at Slumberland Furniture. Incredible prices, plus get 30% off on top of that store-wide. Come find your new sofa, sectional, or Lazy Boy recliner on sale. And we're still offering no interest for 3 years. 30% off and Black Friday deals all month long? Yes. And don't forget, mattress shopping is easy, fast, and comfortable. Come see our difference and get a great sale on a mattress today at Slumberland Furniture.
There will always be bumps in the road, but we got guts, America. We got freedom. We got power. We got future. So let's drive on and make the future we want to see together. Because your new Ford vehicle is just the start of a journey. So stop by your Ford dealer today and claim one of the thousands of new Ford trucks and SUVs on their way. We've been building this country for 119 years, but we're just getting started.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal, come have a taste of Wisconsin.
America's Dairyland.
As in real dairy.
It gives Culver's fresh frozen custard its famous rich and creamy flavor. Like really rich.
So rich.
Rich and creamy.
And our cook-to-order Butterburgers?
They're topped with, you guessed it,
Wisconsin cheese.
but it's the smiles we put on your face with every meal made just for you.
It really makes our hearts melt.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
Dan and Conrad, last week we learned about the Hodags taking the top spot in a mascot challenge by SB Live. The Hodags topped 11 other finalists in the competition, surpassing other mascots by 100,000 votes. Our reporter Matt Weaver talked to Rhinelander High School senior Connor Jensen a little while ago, who said his classmates embraced the mythical moniker.
We do have the rowdiest fans in the state, so it gives us something to be proud about and talk about, and it just gives us a boost of confidence.
At 6 p.m., we're going to hear from the second place team, the Shelley Russets of Idaho.
Well, that's curious. I'm looking forward to that story. But, Conrad, not potato-growing weather out there very soon.
Yeah, cold air is coming in. Hopefully you guys are prepared for the winter months. Hopefully you folks are as well. But first, let's talk about what's going on outside right now. Cloudy skies. We will actually have some rain overnight tonight, and then it's going to actually continue into some thunderstorms. And then tomorrow, a little bit stronger thunderstorms at that. Temperatures, though, are warm in the 50s and a couple of 60s showing up here. So it's very mild for this time of year. Our average should be around 43 degrees, but big changes are on the way, folks. There's going to be a cold front coming in.